Today's topic is hosting a class. And then we'll discuss giving effective presentations. Program coordinators often host classes that someone else will actually teach. Hosting includes introducing a speaker and managing the audience. Your skill as a host makes a big difference in how smoothly a class functions and how people learn. You may use this module to instruct Master Gardener volunteers on how they should host classes if they've been asked to do so. Introducing a speaker gets the audience ready to listen. It sets the tone of the meeting, and it gives credibility to the speaker. Here are some suggestions from Toastmasters International, a nonprofit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills. Before the class, contact the speaker and get their background information. Ask for their correct name and pronunciation, their title, their career information, and anything else that would demonstrate their credibility on the subject matter. Other information could include their education, organizational memberships, or honors. And then condense this information into a brief introduction that is appropriate for the occasion. And finally, practice giving your introduction. Be sure you can pronounce the speaker's name correctly. Before introducing the speaker, alert the audience that the presentation will start soon. Get their attention focused up front and get them ready to learn. Ask people to find their seats. Thank them for coming. And ask if people in the back of the room can hear you and adjust the microphone volume accordingly. Remember to be brief. You are the host, not the speaker. Avoid jokes or being too casual unless you know the speaker and the audience well. Your introduction should include the following components. Welcome the audience and speaker by saying, "Welcome to this class on so-and-so. It's my pleasure to introduce your speaker." Highlight the topics of the presentation. Tonight, he or she will be presenting blank. Read the biographical information you prepared about the speaker. Our presenter is speaking to us on this topic because... Let the audience know if they can ask questions during the presentation or if you'd rather they hold them until the end. Invite the speaker up to the front of the room and say, "Please join me in welcoming so-and-so," and begin applauding. Here's an example of an introduction that incorporates some of the suggestions from the previous section. Managing the audience ensures that the presentation is a success both for the speaker and for the attendees. The speaker will do a better job if he can concentrate on his material and leave time and crowd management up to the host. Work with the speaker ahead of time to be able to end on time and decide how he wants questions and handouts to be handled. Use these techniques to help everyone stick to the structure. At the beginning of the presentation, let the audience know if they can ask questions during the presentation or hold them until the end. If people interrupt at an inappropriate time, remind them that questions should be saved until the end. Signal the speaker at the agreed-upon time to transition to questions and discussion. Everyone in the audience may not hear a question, so ask your speaker to repeat questions before answering and remind him to do it whenever he forgets. The audience will appreciate this. If the question asked is irrelevant, tactfully step in and point out that the subject is outside of today's topic and move on to the next person who has a question. If the question was long and or not clear, restate it and confirm it with the person who asked it. If someone is monopolizing the speaker's time, ask them to address their concerns at the end of the program so the speaker can get through his or her material, or so that other audience members are able to ask their questions. If an audience member becomes argumentative, you may need to interrupt firmly and thank them for their opinion and then move on to another person with a question. Again, refer to the need for others to have time for questions. Whatever situation may arise, remain pleasant, self-confident, and in control. Controlling the learning environment is the purpose of being a host. Plan ahead to be able to end the class on time. people may need to leave right away and there may be another use for the room that you're using. If you let a speaker talk right up to the end time, or if you don't manage the question time, you'll lose control of the program. So step up to the podium before the program ends. Distribute evaluation materials or other handouts if you have them. Ask the speaker if he or she is willing to answer more questions and let the audience know where that will happen. And then thank your speaker, lead the applause, and help the speaker move to wherever more question time can occur. Handouts help people remember the main points of the presentation, or they can provide more information about the topic, and they can be used to promote future classes or meetings. To avoid audience members reading it instead of listening to the speaker, you can give it out during the question and answer period or make it available at the end of the program. Tell the audience at the start of the presentation so they won't be taking unnecessary notes. Our next presentation in the Program Management Skills module is Giving Effective Presentations.